4:37 at News Talk 1400 WRJN. It is Christmas Eve. Ted Allen here. Great to have you along with us for a Christmas Eve edition of the WRJN Afternoon News. And one of our favorite guests over the past year we were introduced to in August. In fact, August 12th was the date that we targeted in on because August 12th is Middle Child Day. And what happened was this fellow is a union head. The union he heads up is the International Middle Child's Union, and they had a strike on that day. Since he was a union head, he said, I should call a strike. So he did. He called an international strike by middle children. And what were they asking for? Attention, of course. So we ended up talking with him about the holidays as well, Thanksgiving and Christmas. And he joins us once again on the program on this Christmas Eve. It's always a treat on the afternoon news on WRJN to be joined by the head of the International Middle Child's Union, a middle child himself, and we are being joined by Bruce. By the way, Bruce Hopman, I blanked out on your last name. I feel so terrible about it.
Hey, I'm a middle child. I'm used to it. I did a radio interview the other day, and they kept calling me Bob, and I didn't correct them because I was getting attention,
yes.
And that's all that really matters.
Yeah, exactly. It's the middle child thing, and it's Christmas for middle children, Bruce.
Yeah. Look, as part of my job as the head of the union, I must again advise everyone in your listening audience, the Middle Child Union has raised the Middle Child Syndrome advisory alert to code red, so be warned, pay extra attention to the middle child. All holidays are rough for us, but Christmas seems to be the worst because the presents are involved. Your parents could spend the same amount of money on your gifts, and it doesn't matter. The middle child's going to find some way of feeling like they're gypped. Your parents could actually get you each the same gift. And well, as a middle child, I know what I would say right away. Oh, sure. They couldn't. They had to get what they couldn't think of something I wanted. They had to get us all the same thing. So this is how it works with a middle child. You cannot win. So when the presents are involved, look, birthdays. They come months apart from your siblings.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just in your face like this. But on Christmas, it's all right there. You could actually say, they got more gifts, they got better gifts, and trust me, that's what the middle children will be doing. The worst thing a middle child wants to hear when they're getting gifts, you open it up and you get the sweater, and somebody says, "Ooh, your brother has one just like that." We don't want to hear that because we know that. We probably already have some of his old sweaters, so we know we have one just like that. We don't want to be reminded of that on Christmas. So that's why I think it's important to get different gifts also. Don't get the same thing because we're going to end up getting the one you got them anyway.
Right.
So get us something different.
Indeed. So with this in mind, when it comes to the gifts and when it comes to the festive occasion of Christmas, there's a famous old poem that you ended up providing a new spin for, Bruce.
Yeah, well, we're all familiar with Clement Clark Moore's "The Night Before Christmas." A lovely poem. When I hear it, though, I have trouble identifying with that household. I mean, it's the night before Christmas, all the kids are in bed sleeping, and I'm thinking there's no middle child involved in this house because there would be some type of commotion. Something would be going on the night before Christmas other than everybody just sleeping in their beds. So it made me think, what would the middle child's interpretation of this poem be? How about we see the night before Christmas through the distorted lens of a middle child? And I took a stab at rewriting the poem.
And here we have it for you, The Middle Child's Night Before Christmas.
'Twas the night before Christmas in some other house. The firstborn and lastborn were quiet as a mouse. The one creature stirring, I probably should mention, was the middle child, constantly seeking attention. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care. Still the middle child complained, theirs are bigger, no fair. While the oldest and youngest were snug in their bed, visions of hand-me-downs danced in his head. And Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap were so sick and tired of his middle child crap. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter. Now what What was he up to? Now what was the matter? My wondering eyes through the window could see a person I've seen many times on TV. She whined and she moaned, did this blonde-haired young lady. I knew in a moment it must be Jan Brady. Marcia, 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 I heard her exclaim. She gets all the glory, I get all the blame. If just for one day I could feel like the favorite, I'd relish the moment and always would savor it. Then, if as a sign from some power on high, a sleigh and 8 reindeer fell out of the sky. That's when Santa lost all control of his sled and hit poor Jan Brady smack dab on her head. It's clear what I saw, so it's true when I'm saying that Santa was guilty of texting while sleighing. Then, something surreal happened after he hit her. I wished I had shared it on Facebook or Twitter. With a wink of his eye and a twist of his head, that jolly old man left Jan Brady for dead. He summoned his reindeer and called them by name and told them to hurry before the cops came. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donder and Blitzen, they flew to the sky as those reindeer did climb and dashed away all from their hit-and-run crime. The ambulance came with its red lights aglow to shovel that mid-kid from out of the snow. The medics declared after lengthy discussion it was clear that she suffered a major concussion. They concurred that her symptoms would lessen and clear, but her middle child syndrome was terminally severe. And as they prepared for her hospital journey, her flash-frozen torso was placed on the gurney. She came to her senses, though clearly exhausted, and uttered these words as she thawed and defrosted. It really does suck being stuck in the middle. We always feel like we're the ones they belittle. Our siblings are normal, all happy and smiley, and we end up acting out, twerking like Miley. She continued her rant as they bandaged her head. It's hard to recount all the things that she said, but the last thing she babbled, I clearly recall. Happy Christmas, she said, middle children and all.
Bruce Hoffman, ladies and gentlemen, with the middle child.
Look, I can't decide if this is like a new Christmas classic or if I can never show my face in Wisconsin again. Something, one or the other. I'm not sure. I guess time will tell.
As long as I'm doing this, is God willing, the middle child's night before Christmas will be a staple of the WRJN afternoon news around Christmas, sir. Oh, by the way, you wanted to mention one more thing about the International Middle Child's Union.
Oh, yeah, it's Christmas time and everybody's thinking about gifts. And I had opened up a little shop on cafepress.com. It's called the Smack Dab Shop. And on there you can get middle child apparel. It's the International Middle Child logo on T-shirts, sweatshirts, coffee mugs, etc. The Middle Child Party, our political party, you can get that logo on clothes as well. And what I'm doing is taking all the proceeds, any profits that would have been made, and donating everything to UNICEF. So it's a middle child shop, but it's going to benefit all children. And, look, if you think it's difficult dealing with a middle child, shopping for one is even harder. So if you go to cafepress.com/smackdabshop, you'll find something for every middle child on your list. And the best part, Ted, is if you order today, you will not have any of these gifts in time for Christmas, which is actually perfect when you think about it, because it's a gift for a middle child. So we're used to being an afterthought. So if it comes a week after Christmas, we're kind of used to that. So it's just perfect.
Yeah, it's the perfect gift for a perfect time of year, just imperfect timing.
Yeah, well, that's the life of a middle child. Also, if you want to spend a nice evening around the fire, around the Yule log, you can go to the blog, smackdabblog.com. You could download the audio you just heard. If once wasn't enough, if you want to hear exactly how twisted my thinking is, you could play it from there, download it there, gather the family around the fireplace, and yes, that means even the middle child, the whole family, and have some fun listening to that.
Or for that
eggnog.
Or for that matter, if you're the middle child, you can just play that and say, see?
Yeah. I think I had a little too much eggnog when I wrote it.
But it's we're talking about a tradition now on the afternoon news from Bruce Hoffman, who is the head of the International Middle Children's Union. And where's that blog again? Because you got some dandy stuff on that blog there, Bruce.
I'm trying to make it as easy as, and like I said, the blog isn't just for a middle child. There are, if you know a middle child, if you ever felt like a middle child, and we all have. If you've ever felt left out, left behind, left alone, you felt like a middle child. So you can relate to this middle child mindset. I'm making it easy to reach out to everyone. You can go to the blog, smackdadblog.com. You can find me on Twitter at MidKidMusings, and on Facebook, it's facebook.com/SmackDad page, and you'll find links at each of those places to each of the other places, and you could actually spend the rest of your day just caught up in like a little vicious cycle of middle child stuff between Twitter, Facebook, and the blog. It's a fun afternoon.
And you'd better announce that alert one more time for everybody, not just middle children.
Yes, the middle child syndrome advisory alert, code red. Watch out. Pay extra attention.
That's right. We just want to make sure we get the word out because it's important. Because I hear at News Talk 1400 WRJN where you hear it first. You do.
Right. Who cares? Who cares what the temperature is? I want to know what the middle child syndrome advisory alert is.
Yeah. By the way, just to let you know, Bruce is in Florida today. What's the temperature down there?
Maybe 70 degrees.
Okay.
But the sun went down, so it's cooling down. It could get into the mid-60s tonight.
Okay, we'll keep that in mind, Bruce. Thank you for joining us, and do your best to make it through the holidays as a middle child, sir.
I will, Ted. Have a wonderfully Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I look forward to speaking to you in 2014, maybe 2014, the year of the middle child. I'm on it.
We're working on it. We'll be on your side, Bruce. Trust me.
I believe you. Thanks so much, Ted.
Have a great one. 4:52 at WRJN.